Welcome to Advertising Champions, your destination for insights into the dynamic world of advertising. I'm your host, Tony Stanol, and today we're talking with Deena McKinley, who is the managing director of Maverick Marketing Solutions. Welcome, Deena.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And now you reach way back into the advertising world. One of your first jobs was at Zimmerman Advertising in South Florida, I'm guessing, right? And
That's correct.
And that's known as a big retail shop. And I think you parlayed that experience into working on client side in the restaurant business with where were you? Papa Gino's and various fast casual restaurants. Tell us about that journey, particularly since a lot of my viewers are advertising types looking to get to the client side.
Absolutely. Well, I have a really interesting history in that I started as a high school English teacher. So my career coming out of college, got my master's in English education, and I taught high school English for 2 years. And then I segued into marketing and advertising by way of Zimmerman. I had found I was working summers, while I was teaching, and I was doing marketing, and I just fell in love with marketing and advertising. And I realized that there was a lot of overlap in what I was doing. There was a lot that I learned, from a humanities perspective as an English major and an English teacher, that had to do with, audience, reading your audience, figuring out how to teach Shakespeare to, seniors that didn't really want to learn Shakespeare. And I started at Zimmerman, and my first client was the Papa John's Pizza Co-op. So I got right into, food, restaurants, which is very fast-paced, very operations focused. I worked with all of the operators in South Florida. There were about 100 operators on the co-op, doing a lot with them to get them really at the time. Domino's and Pizza Hut were, the top pizza chains, and Papa John's was trying to make its way into, the penetration of that market. So we ended up doing a lot of sports sponsorships and a lot of things that really resonated emotionally in the local community, a lot of television back at that time. And that really taught me a lot about the restaurant industry, working with operations, working with operators, how important marketing and operations are in the restaurant industry to work together. And I basically used that experience. I went over to Papa John's on the client side, and I was a regional marketing director there, and basically just continued to do my job, but at scale in the entire Southeast. So after that, I went back to advertising, back to the agency side. And I think just having the agency perspective of how to work with other agencies, co-op groups, operators, really prepared and helped me, on the journey that I had to actually lead a team on the client side.
And now with Maverick Marketing Solutions, you're consulting with restaurant brands, correct?
That's correct. Yes, I help restaurants plan data-driven strategies that will help differentiate them and drive revenue in a very difficult market now. There's a lot happening in the industry, and it all has to start with data and what kind of data that you get into your business and how you can use that to plan accordingly.
And in the past 4 years, a lot has happened post-COVID. I know a lot of smaller, maybe mom and pop restaurants just kind of washed away in my area during the early part of this decade, and now how's business?
Well, business after during COVID, a lot of business actually did well for delivery and carry out businesses. Restaurants, I think one of the great things that did come out of such a horrible situation is that the restaurant industry propelled itself into a bigger digital age. Really, third-party delivery, online ordering, carry out, order ahead and pick up, all of those things really stemmed from this era of needing to have food that was consumed off premises and not necessarily on premises. So dine-in definitely hurt. Mom and pops definitely hurt. And there were others that evolved and that started using online ordering and started changing their business model to have carry out and delivery as and online ordering as more featured service. And so I think that what happened after COVID is we're in this huge digital ramp up in restaurants now. And I think that restaurants are realizing the data gold mines that they sit on, and they're trying to figure out how to leverage that data to really drive customers in a new way, because you can't just buy television and do big sports sponsorships anymore to fill the funnel and then hope you convert people. I think now with everything moving to a lot of digital and online ordering, what's happening is we're seeing an inverted funnel, and we're seeing people really come in and look at the customers that they have and the behaviors of those customers and understand who are their best customers, and then try to create strategies that get more of those people. And so that's really what we did when I joined Papa Gino's and D'Angelo. We really looked at our data set. We figured out how we can take our existing guest base and grow it, and then make them our brand evangelists to drive in more people to fill the top of the funnel. So it was a real interesting model that I think is evolving in kind of a new world of digital and media and advertising in restaurants.
Yeah, that's a great way to frame it. We have a couple of seconds left. Fun fact, you're taking an RV journey, I guess, around the country. I don't know. Tell us a little about that.
Yeah. So when I left and decided to go out and start consulting, I just did a big reevaluation of life and decided that we love traveling. We love being together as a family. I've got 2 kids, my husband and my pets. We all sold everything. We sold our house, bought an RV, and we're traveling the country and just enjoying life and living it, homeschooling our kids on the way. And so it's been really fun filled, and I love getting to do what I love to do, but doing it anywhere. It's just brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, happy trails to you, Deena. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Tony. It was great speaking with you.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Advertising Champions. Be sure to visit Daily News Network for more shows like this and additional Advertising Champions shows. See you next time.
We've been around for 16 years, working with clients, with thousands of clients. We're working with agencies to be able to scale them and grow them and provide them services that would cost them way more than it would for them to do it themselves. Anything oriented around lead generation, video creation, web design, we're full service, so we can really serve most people.